So, I haven't recorded. What's today? June 1st. I haven't recorded in a while. Almost a month. Because I had my baby. I was due June 30th, which was 2 days ago. I was due 2 days ago. But because I had preeclampsia, which is high blood pressure, I gave birth 3 weeks early. So instead of my baby being born June 31st, he was born, May 31st. He was born May 12th, which he was very early, 3 weeks early. He was extremely tiny. So I'm not really used to a tiny baby. You know, I wasn't expecting a baby that little. He was 6 pounds, 2 ounces when I gave birth. But over the next couple of days, he lost a lot of weight and dropped down to like 5'6" or 5'7" something. He dropped down really, really small. So I'm making this to tell my birth experience so I won't never ever forget it. So yeah, I know. Like I said, I had preeclampsia and I started having kidney pains, and I went in on May 12th. I was like I was like so miserable. My ankles had started swelling up real bad. My kidneys had started hurting real bad. And it was mostly my left kidney. And I was thinking like, dang, I'm going to be dealing with kidney stones and a labor. So when I went up, I originally had a doctor's appointment. My doctor told me to go in. And I was like, they're not going to deliver this baby. They're going to make me keep it. They're going to make me wait all the way to the 24th or the 30th. So I went in and my blood pressure was like sky high. So like they decided to keep me, and so the process was like real quick. Real quick. It was like, I wanna say maybe 12 o'clock, I wanna say. I went in 12 o'clock and they kept me to like, I wasn't 12 o'clock, was it? Or was it? It was like 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock. And when I got there, I want to say it was like 2 o'clock. And because my appointment was at 3. And they like, it was real rush. So they moved me along and they admitted me. It took like a couple of hours to admit me. And then they admitted me. And then when they admitted me, they took what did they do? Oh, they got me started on this stuff called MAG. If you do not know about MAG, magnesium IV, it is the devil. Do you hear me? The devil himself. I think I died and came back to life. If they ever tell me they have to put me on MAG, if they ever tell your loved one they have to put your loved one on MAG, pray for them, because their body is about to go through a horrible, devilish process. This MAG is used because when you have high blood pressure and you about to get an operation, they don't want you to have seizures because your high blood pressure is so high. So they give you this stuff called magnesium IV to drop your blood pressure. So they gave me this stuff. They did not warn me at all, which they don't. So soon as I got it, I started feeling a little sleepy at first, a little drowsy. And then because they prep you in the like delivery room. So after that, they moved me real quick to the operating room, the OR, because I had to have a cesarean section. So I went in the ER, and I guess that's when they really got it started. As soon as they put that shit in my motherfucking veins, I was on my back. Because y'all know how it is when you giving C-section, you're laying directly on your back. I didn't eat nothing. I told them I gotta throw up. So as soon as they gave it to me, I threw up nothing but water, I guess, because I didn't eat anything. It was horrible throwing up on my back and not being able to sit up. So I threw up. So then they started the C-section process. And I really thought that after I gave birth, I was going to go to sleep. But unfortunately, I didn't. I don't know if my anxiety was so high it wouldn't let me go to sleep. So they started the C-section, and I'm laying there, and I don't feel anything because they numb you. Oh, let me tell y'all, back in the day, they used to do the old, what is it called? Epidural, where they shoot you in the spine and it hurt like hell. Well, now 2021, they hit you with lidocaine first. They numb your spine with lidocaine first. It's a little tiny pinch. It's not nothing. They numb it, and then they hit you with the epidural. So in 2021, you don't even feel the epidural because they numb it with the lidocaine. So the epidural wasn't even that bad. Like, that whole process was nothing. Even the surgery wasn't nothing. I laid there and I'm listening to them talk, and I'm like, okay, I feel them cutting. That I didn't feel them cutting. I smelled it. I smelled my skin burning. So it takes approximately the whole C-section take like 45 minutes for them to deliver the whole baby. It takes like 10 minutes for them to cut through my stomach to get to the baby. So for 10 minutes, I'm laying there like, okay. And they're cutting, and, I'm like, ugh. I didn't feel anything. I was actually really cool through the whole process. And then, like, after, like, about 10 minutes, they was like, okay, we see the baby. So they about 15 or 20 minutes into it, I started feeling pressure from them trying to pop the baby out. Now, this one, between my son, I didn't really feel nothing. This one, woo, it felt like they was crushing my rib cage trying to get him out. I swear it felt like they broke a rib when they pulled him out, but they had to push and push and push, and finally he popped out. And when he popped out, they pulled the thing down. Somebody, I think Emmanuel, helped me lift my head so I could see him, and I seen him like laying right there, just hanging over, and I heard his cry. And I don't know, something about, because Micah didn't cry. My 6-year-old, he didn't cry. He just came out like, what up, though? But my little crybaby, my little wiggly worm, he came out crying. And so when they pulled him out, he was just laying there, and then he was like, yeah. And I don't know why, I instantly wanted to cry. And that was like the first time in my whole pregnancy I really wanted to cry. Besides when I had that tooth. But I was like, oh, I'm about to cry. I heard him cry. He sounded so cute. So then they took him over there, and then they end up sewing me up, and that was it. I really wish I would have got my tubes tied while I was doing this process. I'm so mad I didn't, because now I gotta go through and do it all over again. But I'm gonna do it because I don't want any more kids. But so after I had them, that's when my hell began. I had to stay on that mag for 24 hours, and that was hell. I was so nauseous. I couldn't keep nothing down. No water, no ice. Everything I ate. I didn't eat nothing, but everything, like, I ate a lot of ice chips and tried to drink a lot of water. Throw it right back up. The magnesium wouldn't let you keep any food down. I couldn't stay awake and weaken my limbs. I had to get my blood pressure taken like I don't know, but in order for me to lift my arm, it was horrible. I didn't have no muscle. I had muscle weakness. I thought I was breastfeeding, but I really wasn't. And they should have told me that while I was in the hospital. I really was struggling trying to breastfeed, but it was slowing down my milk production, so I really wasn't breastfeeding. That's why my baby lost so much weight. They tried to put me on pain medication, but I was like, no. And I started my pain medication late, so therefore, by me starting it late, I was in a lot of pain when the pain kicked in. Finally, I couldn't be alone with the baby, so if he wasn't in the room, if Emmanuel wasn't in the room, I couldn't keep the baby. They had to take the baby and put the baby in the NICU unit. They did a lot of x-rays and MRIs because I had blood clots, and they wanted to make sure I didn't have no blood clots because my oxygen kept dropping for some reason. That was horrible. And just the whole magnesium process was just horrible. The birth was beautiful, but the magnesium was horrible. And so this is the part where I'm going to spend like 10 minutes talking about. So they give us operations that we don't ask for. It's just life expectations where we have to have surgery for whatever reason. And so before I got sent out the hospital, I only stayed like 4 days. I delivered on a Wednesday. They discharged me on a Saturday. They don't keep you no more because of COVID. COVID changed a lot of things in the hospital. That's just horrible. So anyway, they give you this long speech about opiates because I couldn't take Tylenol 3s. I couldn't take Tylenol 4s. So the only thing they could give me was Narcos. So basically, they told me they were only going to give me 5 Narcos and I could take them every 6 hours. And they wanted me to take Motrin with it. Well, I can't take Motrin because I have liver issues. So I told them, I said, I can't take Motrin. So don't even prescribe me Motrin. They prescribed it to me anyway, but they gave me more Narcos, which they only gave me 10. Now, this is the part that I don't like. They have a whole history of my blood work, starting from the beginning of my pregnancy to the end of my pregnancy. Don't come in the hospital giving me a speech about opiates when I've been with Beaumont for years, and y'all can clearly see I don't get prescribed opiates. Y'all test my blood. I don't have opiates in my system. So I don't want to hear anything. I don't want to hear anything about opiates, especially when y'all only giving me 10 pills. It's not like y'all giving me a whole bottle. If y'all gave me a whole bottle, then yeah, give me the speech about opiates. Y'all not giving me a whole bottle. Y'all only giving me 10 pills. And every 6 hours, that's going to be gone like in 4 days. So this is what I don't like, y'all. They know that they give you these painful surgeries. They know that we are in pain. They send you home with 10 Narcos. I get home. That's when the real pain kick in because the real medication that they was giving me basically is like worn off now. So now my body is really starting to feel the real pain in this cesarean section. So now, I get home and I want to get up and I want to walk, but I can't because I'm in so much fucking pain. They only give you 10 pills. So once you run out them 10 pills, you basically on your own and that's it. So I feel like they kind of fucking us over. For the people that want to like get back to health and get healthy again, we can't because we don't have the right pain medications to get through the process of walking and getting up, fixing stuff for ourselves. So we stuck. I think my wiggle worm about to wake up. Sorry. So for those of us that want to get up and walk around and exercise and get our body right, we can't because we're restricted because we don't have the right pain medication to get through the process of starting to heal. I think that's really bold to do people who don't have addictions to make us suffer because the rest of the people got addictions. I felt like because there's so many people out there that abuse drugs, I felt like I was getting punished and had to deal with pain because of people that misuse their pain pills. You know what I'm saying? I think they should have prescribed you a proper amount to get through a fucking C-section. How you cut on somebody's body, you cut them open down there, you shift their intestines, their whole body got to shrink back to normal, and you get them 10 pills to take every 6 hours. Are y'all fucking kidding me? That was the most horrible process to go through. But luckily I had a good doctor. So when I went back to see my doctor, because my feet were starting to swell, I was in so much pain. I was just in a lot of tremendous pain. I had to cough. I couldn't cough. I couldn't use the bathroom. I couldn't do nothing. So luckily my doctor was nice enough to extend my pain medication for another 20 days. And I thank her for that. I didn't use all 20 days. I think I used 10. But I was thankful that he gave me that option and that choice because these doctors, they know the process, but they punish us because of drug addicts. And I'm like, I could be getting outside. I could be walking around the block. I could be pushing my baby in a stroller, but I can't because I don't have enough pain pills to keep me moving. At the end of the night, my body is like so stiff and achy. I can't do anything. Even just to turn over in a bed, it makes it feel like my whole intestines is shifting, which they are. Because everything has to go back to normal. Stomach, all that has to go back to normal. and not having a proper pain medication, and your intestines is shifting like that, and everything is going down, and it's a horrible, painful process. And it's just so bold that the hospital, or the whatever you call them, the medical staff, they do us like that. That's horrible. That's why I will never have any more kids. I won't. I don't like the having my kids back in 1999 and 2014 was such a beautiful process. They don't even take pictures of the baby in a hospital anymore. You know, it's so bold that your support person that's with you, you can't even order them. They have to stay there with you 24 hours unless they leave, which he had to leave because he had to go eat, because the hospital wouldn't even provide the food. They would, but every day the nurse had to put in paperwork for your support person to eat with you, and they had to pay for it. So we just bought our food. You know, when he left and went to go get food, they would have to take the baby, and that's how we got food. I just paid for it. Like, it didn't even make sense to create a hospital tab. Wow. It's everything has just changed. It's just not the same. Giving birth is just not the same. It's not. But I think it's really bold that the people, the medical staff, when they discharge you, they don't even let you stay in the hospital and heal. It was so bad that my baby was losing so much weight, and instead of them keeping him in the hospital, instead of keeping him in the hospital and keeping an eye out on him, they discharged me and told me to take him to another hospital the next day. And I'm like, this makes no sense. Why would you all discharge me and tell me to take him to another hospital? I can barely walk my damn self. So y'all want me to leave here and go to another hospital and get him checked out when he's already here and y'all can check him out? That's how backward shit is. So if there's something wrong with your baby, they're gonna discharge your baby and want you to go to another hospital. But they're saying, oh, we're discharging you because we don't want you to catch COVID, but you send me to another hospital with different germs. Exactly. It's not about COVID. I really believe it's just about money. But that's my story right there. So, and let me see if I can show you. This is my little wiggle worm. I'm gonna wake him up. He's gonna be so mad at me. They like to be swaddled, and then they like to stretch. When you take them loose. That is my baby. Yeah, I think he's like 2 weeks today. 2 or 3 weeks. My little wiggle worm. I love him. And dang, he peed in his diaper already. I just put that diaper on. He's in the size 1 diaper today. Say bye-bye.